What's up, everybody? I thought I would change venues a little bit here. I'm sitting in front of a tool shed. No, this is not a typical $400,000 California home. This one only goes for about $250,000. And in this change of venue, I thought I'd talk about something that I've wanted to talk about for quite a while, and I've just put it off because of other videos, and that is the similarities between coming out as a non-theist and coming out as gay. And I believe there are quite a few similarities, and I think most of you who don't believe in God or in gods and have come out to family or friends who are theists will understand that. And if you have had the opportunity to come out as both gay and atheist, I think that in a rather conservative area, you definitely understand where I'm going to be heading with this. Polls are kind of similar in the United States in terms of how the public views both groups. People who don't believe are not thought of very highly, and perhaps even less highly than gay people. It seems that there's a serious image problem with not believing in God in America. And I think I understood this some years ago when having grown up in a pretty conservative church in Appalachia and having really abandoned the formal ideas of that church in my teenage years, I realized by the time I was in my early 20s that I was both I was neither going to fit into the culture that I grew up in because of my religious beliefs and because of my sexuality. And it was quite a few years after I made all these realizations that I actually decided to come out to my parents. And for me, coming out was a little bit different than it is with most people, certainly most people today. People can start so early today in the United States when they come out as a gay person. And that really wasn't an option for me because of the culture I grew up in. I only really knew one gay person before the age of 22. And so without a role model, I really wasn't sure what... I lived with stereotypes. Same way I think I viewed atheism. I viewed it with a lot of stereotypes. And when you have stereotypes, you just don't want to label yourself in a particular way. So I decided when I was at graduate school, my first year of graduate school, that what I wanted to do is come out as a gay man. I was ready for it. I was living in a place where I could see there was a strong, positive community. I got to know a lot of people who were pretty liberal about their worldviews, and it was a bit of a shock for me. I could see that it was inconsistent with the culture that I'd really known for so many years. And that first-hand learning experience gave me courage and made me convinced that it was something that I could and wanted to do. And so I came out to my parents and my family, my sisters, my cousins, all at once, by writing letters over the phone. And it was not an easy thing to do. And one of the main reasons it was difficult for me is that it wasn't just about coming out as a gay person, which I was all psyched up for and I was ready to do. But I was interrogated as to my religious beliefs, which I was not quite ready to talk about. And so I had to come out basically as what I was at the time, which was an apathetic agnostic, someone who didn't know. As a scientist, you have to maintain some level of openness, and I had embraced the idea of agnosticism at the time because of that. But I also was apathetic. I just did not care. It wasn't important to me. And sometimes by simply not thinking about something like that, you can reduce a lot of the tension or internal turmoil that you may still be going through without realizing it. So the shock for me was coming out as both gay and as someone who was a non-believer. And I think I did the first one a little bit easier than the second one. Since then, I'm a lot more open-minded and a lot more confident in my beliefs. But it was not easy to do. And I'm interested in knowing now how other people think about the similarities between coming out as gay and coming out as being an atheist, regardless of which camp you actually are in. There's a lot of interesting stories, a lot of interesting coming out stories, and I think that we can learn from each other.